welcome everybody to a day of defeat. Wait, no, wrong video game. After War We Part 2 was due today at noon. I had extended it to midnight since the input tests weren't available till real late. So it's going to give you guys an extra day to clean up your code and get it done. Remember that all of you have access to Gondor calls for aid, where you can ask me for up to 4 lines of code, or I can get your code compiling or something like that. So remember, those options are available to you. Don't wait till 11:59 at midnight, because I'll probably not have time to answer it, so just keep that in mind. Now, what we're going to talk about today is your next homework assignment, which is Pokemon. Okay. So for the Pokemon assignment, this is one of my favorite assignments every year. Basically, you are going to open up this CSV file. So if you guys remember the data science assignment, I went on to Kaggle today and I downloaded the, I think it's up through Gen 6. Yeah, it's up through Generation 6 Pokemon. And so I've downloaded a data file that has, 721 Pokemon in it. And it has information on them, their name, their type, their HP, their attack, their defense, special attack, special defense. How many people here have no idea what I'm talking about when I'm talking about Pokemon? You're at least familiar with the concept of Pokemon, right? Where children run around capturing small animals like dogs and roosters and go into a little pit, and they have these dogs and the roosters fight with each other, right? So, like half it. Yeah, that's basically the idea, though. It's basically, you just capture animals and have them fight to the death. So, all right. So what you're gonna have to do is you are gonna have to parse this file. Okay. So this is, I think, the third time that we've done file IO, and you should hopefully be getting good at it by the time you're done with this assignment. So basically, you're gonna open this file up. You're gonna read all the data in, and read in the type. Every Pokemon has at least one type. Some of them don't have a second type. Some of them have one type. Some of them have 2 types. So if the second type is empty, it'll look like that. Make sure you handle that properly. I don't think there's any bad data in here. These are kind of weird. Like the names, like for the Mega Beedrill, it's like Beedrill Mega Beedrill is the name, which is kind of weird. But you don't need to clean that up at all. It's fine. Just leave it like that. There's no, I don't think there's any bad, like data in here. Like there's not like, missing, like, because you'll sometimes have that, right? Like you'll sometimes have like a missing data entry or something like that, and then you have to like handle it. I think this is pretty complete, so that's nice. I checked. There's no commas inside of double quotes like you have with some of the data sets on Kaggle, where sometimes you'll have like a double quote and some commas and another double quote, which makes parsing the file slightly more headachy. So it should be a fairly straightforward open file. Read the header row, throw it away, and then what you're going to do is you're going to create a class. This is an assignment that is teaching you guys how to use classes really for the first time, and so you're going to make a Pokemon class. So what sorts of things describe a Pokemon? I'll give you a hint. They're on the screen right now. What sorts of attributes would a Pokemon class have? There's types, the elements, yeah, they're types. What else? So if we were to not save this, if we were to make a new class or struct or whatever for a Pokemon, technically there is a accent over the E. We would have to put all these things you're putting on chat, right? We would need to have the name. We would need to have the generation. Sure, the attack power. What was some of the other things you're seeing? Rarity. I don't even know what a rarity. String maybe for rarity or something like that. Generation, defense power. Then you have special attack, right? And then special defense. You guys understand? Like all of those different column headers you saw there, each of those turns into a member variable of the class. So it's actually very straightforward. Another thing that I would probably put in there is like the Pokedex number, something like that, which is the, because every Pokemon is referred to like by number sometime. You know, like Diglett is Pokemon 50, right? So you just type in the number, and it'll look up Diglett, right? So each of the Pokemon also have a Pokedex number, and essentially what you're doing for this assignment is do you like Mudkips? The attack power of the defense, yeah. So what you're essentially going to do for this assignment is you're going to make a Pokedex. You're going to make a assignment where you're going to load this CSV file, and then the user, you're going to basically make a class, and you're going to make a vector of Pokemon. This vec, and then you're going to open up the file, and you're going to do like a while true kind of thing, while ends kind of thing. I'm not going to write all of it out for you, but basically you're going to make a Pokemon temp, and then you can do something like temp dot name is equal to read line from the file until a comma, right? And temp dot, I don't know, let's say we're down to special defense power is equal to string to integer, read line from the file until the next comma. Because this is a comma separated values file, right? So CSV file uses, I know we don't have it ends, you're gonna Pokemon, lettuce. Yep. And so you're going to open up the file, and basically in a loop, you're going to read a row at a time, and then you're going to string stream it, and you're going to string stream it, splitting it based on commas like that. You guys have all seen this before, right? Like, I'm kind of just giving you the high level way of doing this, not like the exact code. It's going to just be kind of along these lines, though. And what you're going to do is after you've read the name, the all these things. You've read the number, the name, the generation, all those things. After you've read all of those things in, then you're going to go vector dot push back temp. And you're just going to do this until the end of the file. Then at the end of the day, you are going to have a vector that contains all of the Pokemon from generation 1 to generation 6 with all of their stats loaded up. And then what you're going to do, let me show you the actual program now. Pokemon. Gotta catch 'em all. All right. Then let's just say, give me information on Pokemon 50. And then it just prints the information on Diglett. Okay. So Diglett is Pokedex entry 50. His name is Diglett. His HP is 10. His attack's 55. Defense is 25. Its type is ground. It does not have a second type. Do you guys understand? That's it. That's your assignment. So you're going to have 9 days to do this. It's something you've done at least once with data science, which is parsing a CSV file. And this is an easy CSV file to parse. Some of the CSV files you guys had for the data science report, they had like commas inside of double quotes and things like that. So you can't just use read line and read until a comma over and over again. This one you can. It's really nice. So my students were asking, what's the catch? In the 12 o'clock section, they're like, what's the catch? This seems suspiciously easy. Do you guys share that suspicion? This is generation 1 here. Oh, no. Do you share that suspicion? Do you think there's something more to it? You have to make it playable? Not yet. Not by next Friday. Nope. Eventually, yes, you're going to have to implement Pokemon. But the first step along that route is loading the data files, right? Like, so, if you were Mr. 3DS, last name 3DS, first name Nintendo, and you're working on this game, when you launch Pokemon, you're going to load up all the data files that have, the somewhere on disk, it's going to have the name of every Pokemon and its stats for everything. You're going to load that all into memory, probably. Something like this, in fact. So the catch is, I don't know what you're doing. Ask for help. Ask for help. Yeah, but you don't have to make it playable for this one. You just all you have to do for this one is open up a file, parse it, load it into memory, and then just let the user just look up. Tell me about I don't know, you. Yeah, you has 100 in every stat. Cool. All right. So there is one tricky bit, which is there's a second file that contains move data. Okay, and so the move data. So the Pokemon data is held in public Pokemon.csv, and it's just all the information you ever wanted to know about generation 1 through 6 Pokemon. There's another file that contains the moves in Pokemon, and this one is a little bit more tricky. So get Pokemon working first, and then move to moves. Okay? And the reason why this is a little bit more tricky is because this is a tab delimited file instead of a comma separated file. So all of these in between here are actually tabs. So you have to do a read line until the next tab, until a read line of the next comma. So you do something like this. You do a read line from ends until the next tab character. Very similar. Different, but similar. Okay. I intentionally have them in two different file formats. One with a tab separated file, one with a comma separated file, so that you guys can get some practice reading files of different formats. And the tricky bit with this one is that if you notice here, some of these moves don't have all of their data. Some of the moves are missing data, right? So we got Horn Drill here. We've got Tail Whip, Sing. Some of these things are missing one of the columns of information. Okay? So if it has all of the columns filled in, it's good to go. You can load it. But if it's missing anything, like mist is missing something, then you just throw that row away. You guys understand? So this is also teaching you something very important in data science, which is called cleaning your data. Okay? So a lot of times when you get actual data sources, there's going to be errors in it. There's going to be rows and columns that are corrupted or missing or something like that. And so what you have to do is figure out how you're going to clean it. Sometimes some of the missing data doesn't matter. Like if the user types in their city, but they don't type in their state, you can fix that. You know what I mean? If they type in their zip code, but they don't type in their city, you can fix that. Like there's things you can do to like fix missing data sometimes. For this assignment, we just throw it away. So if any of these rows are missing, do you guys see this? Like Lear is missing this thing here, and disable, and you guys see that? Like that M dash. This is not a hyphen, by the way. This is probably the most common mistake students make on this assignment. This is not a hyphen. It looks like a hyphen. It's not a hyphen. Let me put a hyphen next to it for comparison. Do you guys see the difference here? It's not an underscore either. Let me put an underscore in here for you. That's an underscore. This is an M dash, okay? An M dash is a long hyphen. So if you ever go onto like Microsoft Word, you type something. Let's see if I can. So the best way of handling this is just to actually copy this out of the text file. So select it in the text file, copy it, and then paste it into your code when you have an if statement. If the character equals that, then handle it. So in Word, hi, my name is Bond, hyphen. Now watch what happens when I type. See that? It turned into an M dash. See that? James Bond. Right? So you will see M dashes and other things that are horrible for computer science people, like the smart quotes that curve inwards. These things just screw up. It screws up so much stuff. Because students will copy my code from PowerPoint. PowerPoint will curve the quotes, it'll curve them inwards. And C++ does not allow you to have curved quotes, as you guys remember from the midterm assignment. So the M dash is just kind of like one of those things, right? There's no key on your keyboard to type it, so you're gonna have to copy it, Control C, or on Putty it's Control Insert to copy, and then Shift Insert to paste in Putty. Are we ignoring moves that do no damage? That is correct. Any move that does no damage gets discarded. Okay. Not save this. Okay. So yeah, any move that does no damage gets discarded. Any move that doesn't have an accuracy gets discarded. Okay. And so I think those are the only ones. Oh yes, yeah, I think those are the only two that are ever missing. But if anything else is missing, and I can't remember off the top of my head if any of the other columns miss something. But if an M dash appears anywhere within that row, throw it away. You guys understand? Just don't look it up. It's like when I run my code, if I look up move 133, not found. Right, because move 133 is amnesia. Amnesia doesn't have an attack or an accuracy. So we just throw it away. Anything that is missing any of the data, we just throw it away. And if they try looking it up, you just go error, not found. Sorry. Is there an input tester in case we ordered the information incorrectly? There is. There is an input tester already up on it. So you will have 9 days to load 2 different files and look them up. As far as the Pokemon part goes, the only part that I've seen students really have trouble with sometimes is handling a Pokemon having 1 type or 2 types. Like that can sometimes, I guess, screw students up a little bit. Like they expect all Pokemon to have 2 types, and when they only have 1, like it, messes up their code somehow. 2/9 of a file per day. That is correct. So you just have to parse about 30 rows a day, and you'll be good. You do not have to fill in the blanks. Yeah, just throw them away. Okay. Yeah, so you can see on here, Pokemon Battle. You don't have to do this, by the way. This is part 2. Okay, so in part 2, you can have different Pokemon fight. So Pokemon Battle. Somebody give me a Pokemon Gen 1. They want to fight. Bulbasaur is number 1, I believe. Yes, fighting Galesopod is not Gen 1. Gen 1 on this. Ekans snake backwards. Where is Ekans? There it is. 23. All right. So Bulbasaur versus Ekans. They start hitting each other, and Bulbasaur wins. Cool. Right. So that's an example of combat between Pokemon. You don't have to worry about that for now. It's just kind of a teaser for part 2. And also, do I have a Pokemon program? Oh, interesting. And I think I deleted some files because if you guys remember when the hard drive filled up, I was going through deleting files. I think I actually I had a database of all the pictures of Pokemon in ASCII format. I still have some of them, I think. Like Pokemon pictures. Vim, Mew, Vim. Yeah. So here's Bulbasaur, right? Oh, it doesn't go up to 150. Here's Ekans. Right. So I had let's see, to reference. So I had it actually displaying the pictures up on the screen. For now, this is not going to look quite as cool. So let's have Ekans fight. What moves should we give Ekans? What moves should Ekans do? Leer. Move Lear not found. Interesting. Lear. Lick. And give him lick. What else? Comet punch. I don't know how a snake could punch you though. I don't know. Surf. Surfing snake. And then we'll have it go up against who? Who should Ekans fight this time? Versus Zapdos. All right. Is it not on there? Okay. Weird. Okay, so let's give Zapdos Thunder Light. Comet Punch. Psychic, which I don't think Zapdos can use. Flamethrower. Okay. So like I said before, it would be displaying the picture of the Pokemon there. It's actually animating the picture right now, but I deleted all the pictures to free up hard drive space because this semester we've been running out of hard drive space constantly. So instead, you just got that cool little banner print thing there. And so you can see Zapdos here has got his options. Let's use Thunder. It does 515 damage to Ekans. Ekans gets wrecked. And the end. Okay, you don't have to do that now. That's just kind of a teaser for what is going to be coming next week. So all you got to do by next Friday is just read 2 files and just be able to look up information. Okay? Not too bad. GG easy, no repeat.